think he's going to get the promotion? I'm not sure I can stomach that idea. Wow, that's a lot of responsibility to shoulder. Hey, I'm Ryan, and welcome to my channel, English with Ryan. Today, we are going to study more than 30 verbs, phrasal verbs, and idioms that are related to or are things we do with our bodies. I'm going to try to act out as many as possible so you can get an idea of what these look like and hopefully remember them better. Let's get to it. First, let's talk about a fun idiom in English, to be joined at the hip. This means to be close to someone or often together with them. Sally and John are joined at the hip. We can kick, but we can also kick the habit, which means to stop doing something that is harmful. I used to smoke, but I kicked the habit last year. We can also kick someone out, which means to remove them from a place. John is being really loud, and we need to kick him out of the restaurant. We can knee someone. We can also, as we're walking, roll an ankle or twist an ankle. Next, we can foot the bill, which is an expression that means to pay for something. It's not yet clear who will foot the bill for the housing project. We also have an idiom, to toe the line. To toe the line. This means to follow a rule or a standard. You need to stop acting up and toe the line. Now we have two phrasal verbs, to back down and to back out. To back down means to admit you are wrong or defeated. To back out means to not do something that you already said you were going to do. We don't have enough money, so we need to back out of the deal. We have an idiom in English, to stomach something. Just like I used during the intro, do you think he's going to get the promotion? I'm not sure I can stomach that idea. This means to be unable to handle something because of disgust or just not liking it. We can shoulder something, which means to deal with or to handle. Like this example, that's a lot of responsibility to shoulder. We can also stand shoulder to shoulder, which means to stand together with someone in support of a person or an idea. We can also shoulder someone, which means to bump into them with our shoulder. We can bump into someone or something, which just means to hit lightly. We can throw something, and we can also throw in the towel, which is an idiom that means to give up. I'm throwing in the towel. We have another great idiom in English, to give someone a hand. This means to help them. Can you give me a hand with this? I need help. We can punch, and we can also slap. What can we do with this part of our body? We can sigh. We can breathe. Remember, breathe is the verb and breath is the noun. Speaking of breath, we have an idiom in English, take a breath. This means to pause and rest or calm down. We have another idiom, to get something off your chest. This means to tell someone about something that's been worrying you or that you've been feeling guilty about for a long time. Hey man, do you have a minute? I need to get something off my chest. Let's take a minute and talk about a common difficulty. Do you know the difference between hear and listen? Hearing is more of an event. It's natural instead of intentional. Do you hear that bird? Listening, we do consciously or on purpose. Do you like to listen to music? Sometimes we can use them in the same sentence, but which one we use is determined by whether we want to emphasize the action or the event. Did you hear that interview with the president? Here, we are emphasizing the event. Did you listen to that interview with the president? Here, we are emphasizing the action of listening. We often use hear with can. Can you hear that bird? This is important. If we mention an object in a sentence, we have to use to. Do you like to listen to music? Here, music is the object. If we don't mention the object in a sentence, we don't use to. Listen, can we talk later? Finally, we often use hear in the present perfect form. Have you heard that song before? We have a really fun idiom about ears in English. Lend me your ears. This is actually a line from Shakespeare. It means to ask for someone's full attention. You want them to listen to you carefully. Be careful not to confuse this with turn a deaf ear, which means to ignore or refuse to listen. What can we do with our eyes? We can wink, we can blink, we can also eye something, which means to look at something closely or with interest. I'm eyeing that new bike. In other words, I want to buy it. We can also see eye to eye. And this is a fun idiom. It means to agree. My wife and I see eye to eye. I can't really do either one of these, but you can roll your eyes. You can also cross your eyes, which is when both eyes come together to look at your nose. We have yet another idiom about our eyes. Have your eyes on someone or something. This can be something you intend to buy, but it can also mean that you're watching someone closely or carefully. I've got my eyes on you. I'm watching that person carefully. We can stare, which is kind of like look, right? Except stare means to look at someone for a long time or in a certain way. It's normally considered rude to stare. And we watch. We watch with our eyes. We watch movies and TV shows, but we can also use watch like the idiom we just practiced. Have your eyes on someone or something. I'm watching you. I'm paying attention to that person. If we talk about this part of our face, we can mouth something, which means to say or express something without making any sound. We also have a phrasal verb to nose around. To nose around is to look or search, especially when you aren't supposed to. We could also just say, don't be so nosy. We can head something. We can also head a group or a team. I'm heading the new task force. Finally, we have an idiom to stick your neck out, which means to take a risk. I can't believe you quit after I stuck my neck out for you. I really hope you enjoyed this lesson and that it was helpful. There are a lot of verbs, phrasal verbs, and idioms that I wasn't able to include today. However, I plan on doing another video like this soon. So, write in the comments below if there are other verbs, phrasal verbs, or idioms that you would like to have explained next time. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.